joined by Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. And Ryan, first things first, when you kind of look at this timeline for you, we're in between spring and summer. What does the month of May look like for you?
Well, the guys got done with their finals, and we finish up the semester with a 3.275 GPA cumulative for 120 guys on a team. So, great sign about the maturity of our team. Then guys get away for a couple weeks and getting back into it now. Summer classes are starting this week, discretionary period. We get into workouts real soon. Assistant coaches are on the road recruiting, so they're really out for the whole month of May, getting around different parts of the country.
They're out recruiting. Does it get a little quiet around the Woody? I mean, everybody's gone.
Well, we got some renovations going on, which is great. Yeah, a bunch of new things going on, which is great. Because in June we do a lot of recruiting visits. So May, our guys are on the road recruiting, hitting these schools, and then in June they come to see us. So, and that's a good time because everyone's kind of out of there for a couple weeks. We get a bunch of things changed, fixed up, cleaned up, and then everybody's getting back in there now.
I'll ask you about the renovations because that's a big topic right now around Ohio State, and bringing in Ross Bjork. How do you feel the Woody kind of competes with other schools?
Yeah, I think that, our guys love being there. When you look at Marvin Harrison and just the whole off season, he spent the whole time in the Woody. Our guys like being there. That's their home. That's their sanctuary. And so they deserve the best in the country. And I know that, we have great plans to make sure it is the best in the country.
When you look at this team, what are you kind of hoping for between now and fall camp? What is your main goal?
Yeah, this summer is where you build the identity of the team. During the spring, you're really working on individuals getting better at their techniques and the fundamentals, and that won't stop. But more importantly in the summer is when a team really comes together because, we've now cleared the last, portal. We may add a piece or two here down the stretch, but that's our roster for the entire year. And so guys really come together as a team and build chemistry on both sides of the ball.
I got to ask you about the quarterbacks. I know you're not going to give an answer, but what is the timeline like for you guys? I mean, last year, kind of throughout the first couple games, it felt like it was still kind of being figured out. You don't want to be in that scenario again.
No, I don't think so. But, you never know how it's going to shake. I never would have thought it would have played out like that. And I think it was handled properly, and we did it the right way because I think that was appropriate. And a lot of it is to the team. The team knows, and you have to do right by the team. So we know that the quarterback position is going to be big for us this year and the type of play. But we're going to need the entire room. And I think that's one of the things where, the guys in the room understand, even if someone is named a starter, we're going to need all those guys. And think about the last time we won a national championship here, needed 3. And that's, been, consistent. When you look at all the different runs people have made, there's been a lot of times where they need the second or third string guy. So, we'll let them compete here in August. But like you said, we're going to have to make a decision.
What do you think it says about you and Ohio State and the staff and the team that all 5 guys stayed? I mean, in this day and age in college football, that's kind of unheard of. What does that say about the program?
No, being here 5 years now, going on year 6, to me, it's so important as the head coach to make sure that our guys understand the culture here. I asked the assistant coaches to make sure they identify the right talent, the right fit at Ohio State, but ultimately, I have to make sure that it's a right culture fit. They understand what Ohio State is. Ohio State's not for everybody. One, you have to be really competitive. You want to be around guys that are competitive. You're going to walk into a room like Marvin Harrison did with 4 or 5-star guys. And, you think about our D-line room and how competitive that is, our secondary, how competitive that is, our running back room, but also when you look at the quarterbacks. But I think, one, these guys like being around each other. I think they have a common purpose. They know what the goals are. And I feel like guys think they're getting developed at a high level, and they believe that. And that's important. When guys believe every day when they walk into the Woody that they're becoming a better football player, they're more likely to be engaged.
I got to ask you talk about the wide receiver room and all the 4-stars and 5-stars. You're dealing with Jeremiah Smith, who is already considered by many to be one of the best receivers in the country, and he hasn't even stepped on the field. How do you handle that? How do you kind of help shape him, and kind of what do you see in Jeremiah Smith?
Emeka Egbuka, when we talked about coming back, one of the things he shared with me was that, he wants to help mentor some of the younger guys, and Jeremiah in particular. And so that room over the years has really built a great camaraderie. There's been great leadership there. There's a standard that's been set, and they kind of help each other along. And I think that's going to be more important than anything, having a senior guy in there like Emeka who can help with, Carnell and can help with Jeremiah and can help with Brandon Innes and some of the guys in that room is really important. But we also have other veteran guys on the offensive side of the ball. And so it's not the first time we've had a high-profile freshman. But Jeremiah so far has done a nice job of making sure that he stay focused on football and keep distractions to the side.
None of this happens without the seniors. None of the storyline of the year happens without guys like Emeka and JT and Jack. What was your initial reaction when you start to look and people were calling and texting and saying, you know what, let's do this again?
Yeah, it was great. You got guys like Cody Simon and Denzel and Lathan, Jack Sawyer. I mean, all these guys, wanted to come back for a common purpose. And when you start to see a couple guys grab onto it, and then a few more guys, and we had to make sure that we had everything in place for them to, reach their goals for the next season. And they have personal goals, they have team goals, but then when you fill in the pieces with the portal, and then you have the recruiting class, that's kind of how it all came together. The last piece was certainly the coaching staff, and so you do everything you can to put the right people in the right seats. And now it's about going to work, and I think we finally know what we have for a team now. Now that we've cleared the last portal window, we finally know who's on the team. We know the coaching staff, so now it's about maximizing ourselves every day.
I asked Larry Johnson after the spring game. He said he gets about 1 week in July that he calls vacation. What do you do between now and fall to kind of clear your head? Because obviously this is going to be a long season that runs through January.
Yeah, that's long. We say once August hits, it's like going on the deadliest catch. You're on a ship for about 6 months, 7 months. Actually, it's longer than that. And you don't spend as much time with the family. No days off. It's crazy, but you don't. So yeah, it's good to get away, in July when you can. And then I always say when you get away, just like our players just did for a couple of weeks, when you come back, you have more energy. You're invigorated, and you become a better coach and a better player. So we'll look forward to doing that.
Really appreciate that, Coach.
You got it.